I think, okay, I think this is working. Just to give you guys a quick disclaimer, I'm shooting this from my webcam in my refurbished MacBook Pro from 2006. So if the video and sound are questionable at best, now you know why. Hey, you guys, my name's Alyssa Price, and this is Bad Mom Jokes. And it's been another crazy week. I feel like as a mom, you're just always saying it's crazy, and it is. It's just a continuous crazy mess that we love and almost kills us every day. Honestly, taking just an hour to do this channel once a week is my sanity. So thank you for coming along on this journey of challenging the status quo and being a bad mom, which means I'm not doing it like in this fake Martha Stewart way. Kids are safe, mommy is happy, and it's all good. Yes, so this week we had a whooping cough scare. I thought it was bad when I took 2 weeks off this channel to deal with pink eye. Both of my kids got pink eye, and I was just like wiping the house down like a crazy woman with disinfectant wipes. And then of course I got pink eye, and thankfully all of it cleared up. Declan, my son, and I worked on a commercial the week after it cleared up. I remember when I woke up with it, and I was like, can you imagine this is the day I have to go to set? Like, when you work in entertainment, like it's rare that you get those days where you're like, I'm going to set today. Like, I'm not, someone that's like crazy working all the time. It's like once a year I work for a day, and hopefully that increases, knock on wood. But I was like, and wouldn't that be the day you have pink eye? That's just, it messes with your head. But fortunately, God and the gods were smiling down on me, and it was the next week. So everything was cleared up. We had fun. We worked on a commercial. It was so great. And in the meantime, this channel isn't really getting the love that I want to give it. So this week, everything was going fine. And then my son got this crazy cough that he was like coughing every few seconds. I think it was Tuesday night. So we took him to the doctor Wednesday, and right when we get there, they put a mask on him. And I was like, okay, I guess, there's babies here. And then they swab him for whooping cough. And I'm like, oh my God, because I guess not a lot of kids, there's a lot of kids in LA that don't get vaccinated. And so whooping cough is back, like something you wouldn't even think would be a thing, right? Well, my son has been vaccinated, but apparently it's not foolproof. You can still get it. So I'm just sweating bullets. It takes 24 hours to come back from the lab. I'm like mentally prepared. For those of you that don't know, my daughter is 3.5 and she has type 1 diabetes. So it's really dangerous when she gets a bad infection. So I'm like, okay, we take her to the doctor. We call Uncle Bart, whose baby girl is a month old. So he was with his cousin, Evie, this past weekend. And can you imagine if we exposed a month-old baby to whooping cough, that phone call? Yeah, I was ready to make it. And then thankfully, all the tests came back negative. So I was like, so he's back in school, but I didn't have time to schedule a guest for this morning. So usually I have someone here, either a mom or a comedian or a good friend of mine. And sometimes it's someone that's all three, and we talk and we let loose, and we're not inappropriate and proud. I think I put somewhere on my channel, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. And hopefully moms and dads and people and pets out there on YouTube enjoy it also at some point, if you ever find my channel. And so right now I feel like I'm doing a live video from the past. It's like time travel doing a live video on this laptop right now. I really don't know. I wonder if I can check to see. I should probably put headphones on and check and see what it looks and sounds like on my phone. Let's see. I don't think this will. I wonder if it shows it streaming. Yeah. Oh, there I am. I wonder what it sounds like. Oh, there I am. I wonder what it sounds like. Oh, there I am. I wonder what it sounds like. Oh. Okay. I wonder what it sounds like. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna stop that because that'll drive us crazy. It's just gonna loop for eternity. But it sounded okay. I mean, it definitely sounds like I'm broadcasting from Mars, but that's a thing. That could be a thing. Honestly, I joke sometimes that the people watching this are from another planet or the people watching my content, because I don't really feel, for whatever reason, I'm really meeting the needs of anyone in the United States, at least. Like, I just don't think, I think what the United States viewer wants is Kardashians and Trump and just that drama, and that's all. No judgment, but that's not really how I am. So, but for whatever reason, I keep compulsively making content, whether or not anyone's ever interested. Oh, no, stop. Interested in it, that's time will tell. Anyways, so I don't really have a lot that's pressing that I need to share. I don't think I'll get any viewers because I don't usually do this. So I used to do live videos from my phone, but I was having a lot of technical difficulties. And what's tricky about that is when you have a guest and someone has put aside the time and made that a priority to be with you that morning, it's really hard then when I send them the link to the video and there are sound issues or it's cutting in and out. So I've decided the live streaming isn't a fit for me, unless maybe I'm doing something like this where I'm just checking in, and if anyone happens to drop in and have a question or what have you, then awesome. So what I've started doing is I record my videos and I try to do as few edits as possible. So it's a live experience, just a bit delayed. So it's not as interactive, but that way you really can feel like you're there and a part of the conversation. And it's not like I'm spending a lot of time editing and trying to make it cute and perfect and everything, because that's overrated. And let's face it, I'm a one-woman production, so I can't really compete on that level. So we're just here for fun. We're just here for shits and giggles, guys. Okay, ladies, moms, whoever it is, believes that parents are people too, and that moms should take a break at least once a week to just say, like, this is hard and I'm gonna take care of myself also in this crazy mess of mom life, and risk being a bad mom because you're not coming off as Martha Stewart perfect. So that's kind of my thing. I think in a way this is a conversation I'm having with myself. I come from a background where I feel the woman was just expected to do it all effortlessly and never complain and, be perfect and be the slave and love it, and the whole thing. And I think so many of us come from that background, that expectation, which is so crazy. I know women did it for thousands of years, but I think it's time for us to say that's crazy sauce, and insist on our partners helping us, insist on our kids helping us, and setting up our own boundaries as moms, like, hey, if that's unrealistic, I'm going to say no, so yeah, that's my thing. I'm also a comedian. I do stand up as a hobby. I guess it's like a hobby level. I really enjoy it. And fortunately, I live in Los Angeles. So if I'm up for it, I can go out and find an open mic. I have a lot of friends that do stand up and they're amazing. So it meets a lot of my needs to have my own time to like drink a beer and maybe smoke some pot and just have fun, with like-minded, funny people. Not always like-minded. Sometimes at open mics, you hear people open up comedians don't have a censor, which as they shouldn't. So they're just really honest, brutally honest. And sometimes that is so fascinating and, really interesting and funny to watch. And other times people open up and you're like, I don't know that I need to know inside of your serial killer mind right now. So there's kind of like everything. But I find that wildly entertaining. I kind of love a hot mess as much as I love someone that's really good at their craft. Yeah, so no one's here. I'm debating. I feel like I could end this because I am conscious that it will be almost unwatchable because it's so pixelated and squeaky. Yay. Yeah, the thing is, you guys, I'm really a stay-at-home mom with two kids that are at the age where they really need me. And one of them with type 1 diabetes, like I'm still adjusting to that. She was diagnosed a year ago in June. So this really is also more at a hobby level. I do it just on Fridays for a few hours. Sometimes if I'm trying to catch up from missed, if I missed a Friday, then I might do it on a Tuesday. But to set up streaming software and have like an external camera and microphone probably isn't going to happen in the next few weeks, maybe in the next year. I move at the speed of children, okay? Which is kind of like island time plus snail, like it's slow. There's an image actually that it is. This is my life in an image. Let's see if I can find it. No, it's here. It's one of those, what are those? Emoji? Not emojis, Bitmoji. I'm hip. I use Bitmo, yeah, no. Because you know what? I'm worth it. Okay, that's this channel. This is me encouraging moms to do this, even if it's for like 5 minutes while your kids scream at you, because they will. I take a shower, my daughter screams at me. Doesn't matter how fast that shower is, doesn't matter when that shower is. She hears it goes on, she comes running and screaming like I've abandoned her. Moms, do you hear me? Okay. I know it's here. It was after my daughter was diagnosed, and it completely captured how I feel. Oh, here. This is me moving at the speed of children. That's it. And I was talking to my mom about this yesterday. She was a stay-at-home mom, 3 kids. The reason I have 2. She had 3 2 years apart. And she was honest about that experience, and maybe a little cuckoo because of all the things that we've like leached the brain juice out of her, and like she works so hard because she sacrificed all of her earning years to care for us. I mean, it's just so thankless what moms do, and it's so beautiful, but thankless. She had 3 kids 2 years apart, and she is the reason. Her honesty, which is brilliant, to be honest, like it's the best thing, but here's what you need to know. I have 2 kids 3 years apart, and I have to tell you, I thank her for her honesty and me thinking about what can I really handle, right? And I totally respect the woman that's like, I don't want kids because I know what it would take, and I'm not willing to do that to my life. Like, I respect that. I personally would be really sad if I could not have had kids. It's been a beautiful, crazy, like otherworldly experience for me personally, but I also see what I've had to sacrifice. I've seen what's happened to my nipples, and I realize, wow, this is hard. And only moms get that. So I don't know. I hope moms find me because I feel like we have a lot to talk about. But anyways, where was I going with that? Moving at the speed of children. When I watch the playback, I'll remember where I was going with that. Oh, that we lie to ourselves. So I was talking to my mom. So it was like after I had gone to the doctor's appointment alone with both kids, swabs for whooping cough. It's middle of the day. I still have to take the dog to the dog groomers. I know, we're fancy. I can't complain. I take my dog to a dog groomer. I get it. My dog has more hair than anyone else combined in this family, so it's kind of a thing that she has to get groomed or she gets like infections and stuff. So anyway, she had to go to her groom appointment, and I'm in the car with the kids. I'm exhausted because I didn't get any sleep the night before because I was caring for my kids that were like keeping me up all night. And I told my mom, I said, I'm lying to myself right now and saying, when you get back from the dog groomers at like 4 o'clock, you're going to sit down and relax and ignore the kids, let them play iPad and just have some me time. And the reality is, so that lie got me through to 4 o'clock. But in reality, I was texting my mom no, I didn't text my mom because my daughter was still on my phone because we were like off of our schedule. We had slept in. My son didn't go to school. So anyway, she's like up late at night using my phone. I'm in the bedroom, like breaking down, having 5 minutes to read a comic book I'm obsessed with right now. Sidebar, Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat. Anyways, so finally at 11 p.m., I told my husband, you're in charge. I'm locking the door. I need to sit down for 5 minutes, which is literally all I did was 5 minutes. And I wanted to text my mom, it was a total lie. I'm just now taking a break. It's 11 o'clock. If I had known at 2 p.m. that I would have gone until 11, I would have crumbled, pulled the car over and just started crying over the steering wheel. But the lie kept me. Moms out there know you lie to yourself throughout the day about what you feel is going to happen, and then what actually happens is a whole different ball game, and you realize at the end of the day, and then your husband thinks you're crazy when you're like rambling as you walk sleep deprived through the house, like the dishes and the laundry, and could you pick up your jacket and put it in the coat closet? And he's just like, God, she's crazy. Anyways, so yeah. And then I put my daughter to bed, and then I passed out and did it all over again. And you just do that. It's this treadmill. It's a marathon. It's like when you first have a baby, ladies that haven't, you think, oh, I'm going to get through the first 3 months. And the first 3 months are really hard. But then as they change and their needs change and you still don't get sleep, like 6 months, a year, 2 years, now I'm in year almost 7. My daughter is like almost off of my boob. It's been 7 years of very little sleep. And God knows if I'll ever get sleep with type 1 diabetes. If any of you parents find me, you know the nights are crazy, especially because she's a tiny one. Horrible eater, of course, too. And you're like, I'm never going to sleep again. But you don't tell that to a pregnant woman because she would be so overwhelmed and she would lie to herself. Hormones help you lie to yourself. So when you're pregnant for the first time, you tell yourself a lot of those lies that, like the lies I told myself the other day, will get you through. Like, I'm going to do it different. By the time my kid is 3, he's going to know 3 languages and play an instrument and be in the best preschool and like all these amazing things you're going to do magically as a parent that no other parent has figured out. They're not going to scream in public. Anyways, so clearly I need a nap more than I need to make a video. But this is just going out there and saying like Aloha Friday. My goal is to post a new video every Friday. And then depending on views and if any subscribers find me, don't forget to subscribe. Then maybe I'll do something like this with maybe some better tech on a different day of the week so I can interact more with my subscribers and see who's out there and what you ladies and dads and whoever are going through and why this meets your needs or not. It's meeting my needs. Like as a creative type that has chosen to be home with her kids, it's really important for me to stay creative, even if it's just a tiny little bit of my week on my terms. So thank you to everyone that's viewing, because I can't do this without you. You can't perform in a vacuum. You can't interact this way in a vacuum. So there are people that have found my channel. I really appreciate you. For all the people that are going to find my channel, I also really appreciate you. I hope I can speak some truth into your mom lives and give you some laughs and some fun times to be had and some community, which I think we're all needing as moms. And I think the internet for the first time ever has really connected moms, especially across like America and across over the seas. And we have this shared experience and also a recognition that we're not doing this alone. And I think that is all really amazing. Like what I see happening like, oh God, what's her name on Instagram, who's doing these hilarious posts where it's like a model and then, you know, and then she does like a really funny post about it. It's just, I think it's so therapeutic for women to make fun of how crazy it is to be a woman. And that just came right out of my butthole. So I don't remember what her name is, but I follow her and like her like crazy. You probably know, because the girl even worked with Tom Ford, so she's super famous. She's Australian. I'm always forgetting the name of her channel, which is my memory. It's a lack of sleep, you guys. Sleep deprivation is real, and its effects are lasting, and there's not a dang thing I can do about it. Got a text that distracted me. Oh, cool. My friends... actually, my babysitter's husband is an Actors Gang, and he just invited me to, I guess he has a show coming up. That's exciting. I wanted to tell you to subscribe. That would be great. The more people subscribing, the more this can get out there, and you will be able to see hopefully more of my videos, and it won't just be like a one-off. It's taken me years and years, and I'm still not used to it, but apparently if I say, hey, subscribe to my channel, then you will, because it works. It's so obvious and easy, and yet for some reason I have like a block about it. You know, it's like it feels inauthentic to be like, subscribe to my channel, but it's what you do on YouTube. So so do it. If you just subscribe. Just, I don't know why that works, but it does. See, it wouldn't work on me. Like, I subscribe to channels whether or not someone says to subscribe to them. If I see something I like, I just go, oh, I don't want to lose that, and I subscribe. But apparently, if I say subscribe to my channel, magically people subscribe. So it's like the knock and ye shall receive, or ask and ye shall receive, knock and the door shall be open. It's that. It's like so obvious, it's hard. I don't know why. Oh, I did mention Patsy Walker a while back. I think it was in 2008. One of my good friends, a writer, we were collaborating on actually writing some concepts that then became my first channel, which is Live with Babs. It was about Andy Mills and her BFF Babs, who was played by a Miss Lovely Patsy doll. I'm just realizing that because I didn't want to use a Barbie doll because I didn't know about copyright and stuff like that, I went to a CVS and I got a Miss Lovely Patsy doll, which is like a knockoff Barbie doll. And I'm realizing the connection now between that Patsy and Patsy Walker, who has been around since the 40s. I found out she was had her own comic book, like romance comic book series in the 40s. I think actually the first one was like 1937, which is wild. And her and her friend Hetty, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And so my friend Kobe introduced me to Hellcat. She said, I think she loved comic books and is like a comic book fan. And she said, I think you're going to like Hellcat. You should check her out. And that was right when Hellcat got a series of 5 comic book issues. And so I ended up finding two of them. I think I have 2 and 4 of the 5 at a comic book store. And recently my son started playing Pokemon. And so I was at a comic book store with him, and I started asking, hey, do you have any Hellcat? And it turns out Patsy Walker got her own dedicated comic book series. I think it was like 1 or 2 years, started, I want to say around 2016, by Kate Leth. And now they're in print as books. I think there's maybe 4 or 5. I just got the first one. It was the first 6 issues of Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat. I love it. Like, I love it so much. And I can't tell if I have the sensibility of a 12-year-old or a midlife crisis scene. I don't really know what's going on with me, but I love the sensibility, even though I think it might be for a younger, like a youth audience, the way it's written. But I personally love it. It's like exactly how I would have pictured Hellcat in all her glory. I just think it's so cool. I love that she's this like clumsy, kind of not typical Marvel hero. Just this kind of like all-American girl that really wanted to be a comic book, or wanted to be a superhero, and just through her sheer like wanting it got hello. I was just talking about Patsy Walker Hellcat that I'm like obsessed with right now. I'm so obsessed with it that I did all this research, and I chronicled like all of the issues that she appears in. And oh, I guess our first appearance was in 1944. For some reason, I thought it was 1937, but then she was in the Fantastic Four annual #3 in 1963. She was in attendance at a wedding. I forget whose wedding. And then, I think that's right. Anyway, she was in Avengers West Coast. She was in, why is this out of order? For some reason I'm missing some of it, because she was definitely in the Defenders, I think they were called. And, yeah, the Defenders. And, oh, and she was introduced in Avengers in #141, but that was in 1975. And then she started fighting with the Defenders, I think in #44. And that was around like 1977. So she's been around for a long time, but she's like just starting to like get a little more attention. Apparently people think Trish Walker is Patsy Walker in the new Jessica Jones show. I watched Jessica Jones. Personally, it's way too dark for me. I don't know what's happened, but I was saying earlier that I have like the sensibility of a 12-year-old. Honestly, I can't stand that. If that's Patsy Walker, like to me, she doesn't act like Patsy Walker at all. She's like way too put together. She's not clumsy at all. It's just not how I picture her. And I don't know why they called her Trish. I keep hoping that even though everyone, including Marvel, is saying that it's Patsy Walker, that there's some reveal and it's like not Patsy Walker, and that Patsy Walker is yet to be like a part of it. Anyways. Yeah, I'm in deep. I'm in really deep into all that, but it's fun. And I was actually about to wrap it up. So thanks for stopping by. Tell me again, I have a viewer here. Oh, no, wait, he went hi and he went bye. Okay, so I was going to ask him a question. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks, you guys, for watching. I will be back next week with a guest, and it should be really fun. We always try to keep it really just like carefree and fun, and not like formal, and just keep it real. That's my whole thing, is to keep it real as a mom and a woman. And I think not enough people do that because it's not popular. But I'm not winning any popularity contests. I'm just staying true to what I personally would like to see more of. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next week. Bye.